You're standing right in front of them, talking, asking, sometimes even yelling a little, and they are looking straight through you like you're made of glass. Going silent. And on the other side of that silence, there is a person whose whole body has gone numb, who isn't ignoring you, who genuinely cannot find a single word. This is stonewalling, and it is one of the most misunderstood things that happens in relationships. Researcher John Gottman studied thousands of couples and found that stonewalling, the silent treatment, the shutdown, the wall, is one of the strongest predictors that a relationship is in trouble. But here's what almost nobody explains. Stonewalling is not coldness. It is not manipulation. In the vast majority of cases, it is a nervous system in a full-blown freeze response. Today we're going to look at this from both sides of the wall. Why the silence happens, what it feels like to be shut out by it, and exactly how two people can find each other again once the ice starts to melt. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 4 steps that turn a freeze response into a real conversation for both of you. Stonewalling looks like indifference. It reads as, "I don't care enough to respond to you." But underneath, something very different is happening in the nervous system. Gottman's research found that during conflict, a stonewalling partner's heart rate often spikes above 100 beats per minute, the body entering a state researchers call flooding. Flooding is what happens when your nervous system becomes so overwhelmed that your brain's higher reasoning functions, language, empathy, problem-solving, go offline. You are not choosing to withhold. You are physiologically unable to access words. It is the same freeze response that shows up in any threat situation, except the threat, in this case, is a conversation with someone you love. If you're the one who goes silent, somewhere along the way, you learned that conflict was dangerous. Maybe you grew up in a house where raised voices meant real danger. Maybe expressing anger got you punished, so you learned to disappear instead. Maybe you watched 2 people you loved destroy each other with words, and some part of you decided, "I will never do that. I will go quiet before I do that." So now, when conflict rises, your body makes the decision before your mind gets a vote. It pulls the emergency brake. It shuts the door. Not to punish the person in front of you, to protect both of you from something that once felt unsurvivable. The tragedy is that the very thing your body does to keep the relationship safe is often the thing that damages it most. If you're the one being shut out, the silence doesn't feel protective to you. It feels like abandonment happening in real time. You reach for a response and get nothing. So your nervous system does what nervous systems do when connection disappears. It panics. You raise your voice, not because you're trying to hurt them, but because some primal part of you is trying to get your person to come back. You might follow them from room to room. You might repeat the question louder, as if volume could break through. You might say something sharp, something you don't mean, just to get any reaction. Because even anger feels less terrifying than that wall of silence. This isn't neediness. It's your own nervous system fighting for the relationship in the only language it currently has. And here's the painful irony. The more you pursue, the more overwhelmed the other person becomes, and the more they shut down. This is what relationship researchers call the pursue-withdraw cycle. And once it starts, it feeds itself. One person feels disconnected and pursues, asking, following, raising their voice, needing a response right now. The other person feels overwhelmed and withdraws, going quiet, leaving the room, shutting the door. The pursuit makes the withdrawal worse. The The withdrawal makes the pursuit more desperate. Around and around, until both people are standing on opposite sides of a wall, neither of them built on purpose. Neither person is the villain here. You are both, in your own way, trying to survive the same moment, using two completely different nervous system strategies. Step 1. Name the flood. Don't hide it. Going silent. Instead of just disappearing, say the sentence, "I'm flooding. I need a break, but I'm not leaving us." 6 words that change everything, because now your partner knows this is biology, not rejection. Step 2. Take a real break with a real return time.
20 minutes minimum. That's how long it takes a flooded nervous system to reset physiologically. But an open-ended break feels like abandonment to the pursuing partner. So make it concrete. I need 20 minutes. I will come back at 7:15. Step 3. Being shut out. Let the break happen without chasing. This is the hardest step, and it is just as important as the other 3. When you get a real return time, your job is to let the 20 minutes actually happen, not follow, not text 9 times. Your partner isn't abandoning you. They're regulating so they can actually show up. Step 4. Return and repair, both of you, together. When the time is up, come back, not to finish the fight, to reconnect first. A hand on the shoulder, eye contact. I'm here. Only once you both feel safe again do you return to the actual conversation, and often by then, it needs far fewer words than you thought. What changes when you both understand this? When the silent partner understands their silence as a nervous system response instead of a character flaw, the shame starts to lift. And shame was often what kept the wall so thick in the first place. And when the pursuing partner understands that the silence is fear, not rejection, something shifts too. The panic softens into patience. The chase turns into trust. You stop being 2 people at war across a wall. You become 2 people learning each other's nervous systems and building a relationship neither one of you has to survive alone. This exact dynamic, the freeze, the pursuit, the wall between you, is one of the core patterns I map out in The Mirror Effect, including why your specific nervous system learned to respond this way in the first place. And The Midnight Bridge gives you the daily practices for rebuilding safety and real conversation once the wall starts to come down, including the exact language for naming a flood and returning to repair. Both books are in the description below. Subscribe if you want relationship content that actually explains the why behind the patterns you can't seem to break. Drop a comment. Are you the one who goes silent or the one who chases the silence? No shame either way. Name it. Share this with the person on the other side of your wall. See you in the next one.